Also today, Mayor Mamdani, Governor Hochul, Attorney General Tish James joining forces, vowing to fight what they call ICE overreach across New York. Hochul announcing over $7 million in state funding for legal services for unaccompanied migrant children, while defending a new state law that will restrict local police departments from working with immigration enforcement. Wonder what Tom Homan thinks of this. Anyway, here he is. Our border czar, Tom Homan, is with us. Well, that's what they're pledging, Tom. I know people have tried to make these threats against you before. Hasn't exactly worked out in their favor, has it?
No, it hasn't. And what they did today was a blatant, disgusting lie. And I'm tired of it. Now, they want to spend millions of dollars of New York taxpayers' money on defending migrant children because they said we abandoned them. No, we didn't abandon them. We just changed contracts. We have a contract in place right now that defends the children at a better rate than was being done in the past. There hasn't been one child at a hearing that hasn't been represented by a lawyer under this new contract. So don't say we're abandoning these children. The only people that abandon children are you, because you say you care about the safety of the children, you care about the safety of the communities. Well, since I've been border czar, I wrote these numbers down. Since I've been border czar, New York State has denied 14,000 detainers, over 14,000 detainers. Who are they? 6,800 illegal aliens with assault convictions, 800 convictions for child crimes. Don't tell me you're trying to protect children. You're releasing predators to the street every day across that state. You got 770 convictions for rape or other sex crimes. I'm sick of the lying. I'm sick of the distortion of the facts. President Trump's done more to make New York City and New York State safer than they have. Where were they when 500,000 children were separated from their families, put in the hands of criminal cartels, and smuggled across the border? Some of those children died. They lost track of 300,000 of them. It was the Trump administration who has found 151,000 of these children that the Biden administration wasn't even looking for. Some of these children are victims of sex trafficking. Some were victims of forced labor. I don't want to hear you talk about us abandoning children. It's you. You've abandoned the taxpayers in New York. Your communities are less safe because of all these criminals you release into the street every day. Children are less safe. President Trump is saving thousands of lives every month because we got a secure border. Fentanyl's not coming across to kill Americans at the rate it was. Sex trafficking, women and children have drastically declined. 4,000 aliens died making that journey under Biden. How many have died since? Zero. President Trump's saving thousands of lives. That includes thousands of lives in New York. You're welcome. You're welcome that ICE is taking thousands of criminals off your street.
Wasn't it Governor Tim Walz, you had a guy convicted of raping and assaulting sexually a 10-year-old girl? Didn't he give this illegal immigrant a pardon? Is that the same state that Peggy Flanagan is in? Because Peggy Flanagan is running for the Senate. She won her race last night. Another DSA radical said during her victory speech last night, we need to rip ICE apart and stop them from terrorizing our communities. Is that a threat?
ICE, the ones that have arrested hundreds of thousands of criminal aliens and deporting them, making this country safer. ICE, the one that found 151,000 missing children. And we still got more to find. We won't stop. President Trump's committed to finding every one of them. But, you know, it's Mamdani and Hochul. I got two words for you. Lake and Riley. You talk to the Open Borders group. You talk to the groups who want to abolish ICE. Have you ever talked to an Angel mom and dad? I doubt it. Have you ever talked to Lake and Riley's parents? Because their child was buried. You know why? Because the murderer was arrested in New York City by NYPD. They didn't call ICE. They released him. Then he went to Georgia and violently killed this young lady. If you don't want to talk to your parents and listen to the tape, almost 19 minutes of this little girl fighting for every breath, fighting to live. She didn't want to die. Listen to that tape and tell me how you justify sanctuary cities that release criminals to the streets of New York every single day. You can't justify it. Governor Hochul can't say she cares about the safety of communities and lock us out of the jail. She just signed legislation locking us out of the jails. How do you square that, saying you want to enforce laws against criminal aliens, but we're locking ICE out of the jail? It's disgusting what they're doing.
It really is. And
I'm upset. I'm tired. I'm upset. I'm just tired of it.
By the way, the Justice Department now is suing New York, Connecticut, and Vermont for giving in-state tuition to illegals. You're doing a great job, Tom Homan. Appreciate it. Setting the record straight for everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.